Well, Patty, I received a phone call the other day from a colleague at work, and it was not a question about work, it was about camping.
Yeah?
And his question that he had for me was so good, I thought we ought to talk about it in this episode of Travels with Delaney.
The podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. My name's Patrick.
I'm Patty.
And for the moment, we're joined by Truman and Bess
Yes.
on the couch here.
The little
Although
baby.
Bess is acting like she might want to escape. I'm not certain. And
I took a shower.
And Truman's driving you nuts,
He
licking you.
is. He's licking my clothes for some reason.
But
I got clean clothes on.
yeah, you gotta love Cavaliers though. They are like little love sponges. I mean,
Anywhere you go,
Yep, they're
they
with
want to
you.
be.
Yep, and they just want to hang out with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, if I would just sit on the couch 24 hours a day, they would be happy.
They would be happy puppies.
They just want to sit with you and hang out. So
They even I think if we had like a shower door that went down lower to the floor,
yeah,
and it was just a curtain, I think they'd poke their little head in.
probably.
Because they're always like, "Where are you? What are you doing? How are you doing in there?"
So
we
wouldn't.
okay?
We wouldn't trade these guys for anything, even though there's times they do get on our nerves.
Sometimes it's like
Yeah.
you're gonna go with Uncle Mark.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get this thing started
All
with
right.
another exciting episode of This or That.
Hey, oh boy.
So, Patty, we're
Yes.
at the campsite.
Uh-huh.
I fired up the Barbie,
Ooh.
threw on a burger.
Yes.
You going Swiss or you going cheddar?
I'm going cheddar, baby.
Ooh, that was a quickie. What do you got against the Swiss?
I like both, but man, on a burger, I like cheddar, and then you know me, I'm simple. Pickles
and ketchup. That's right.
Yeah, that's my fave.
Boy,
That's
that
what
was
I
a
like.
quick this or that. I thought there'd be a little more thought
I
on
do
that.
like Swiss with ham.
You do.
Mhm.
So if I'd said I threw some ham on, you would have went Swiss.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you do cheese pairings. Like people do wine pairings, you do cheese pairings.
I guess so. I just don't like what is that? The spicy cheese? Pepper
The
jack?
horseradish.
Or horseradish.
Oh yeah, the pepper jack. You do not like pepper jack. I
No.
do.
And horseradish cheese.
And I love Cabot's horseradish
Ugh.
cheddar. It is great on roast beef. In fact, I bought some of the Cabot horseradish. They had
Yeah.
it at our local Meyer. And so this week I picked up some roast beef, so I'm going to be enjoying
You're going to have a little
roast
snacky
beef
snack, aren't you?
with some horsey
Oh, you're
cheddar.
going to be living the life.
Yeah. So, I provolone. Do you have a go-to?
No, I like provolone.
Do you, what goes with provolone?
Oh, about anything.
Okay, I was just curious. So
But if I'm doing a ham sandwich, I want Swiss.
you want Swiss? All right.
And if I'm doing a burger, I want cheddar.
All right. Nice.
Like even Vermont cheddar.
Do you have a preference, white or yellow cheddar?
Oh, either one.
Either one. Okay.
I'm not picky on
Okay.
cheddar.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into today's
Okay.
topic. So I was saying at the start of this that a work colleague, Tony, called me the other night, and he said, hey, it's not a work question. It's a camping question.
Yeah.
And his question was, how do you guys go about finding campsites?
Okay.
Because they just recently purchased a new trailer, and they're going to be heading, I think he said either North Carolina or South Carolina over spring break.
I think so. I think I heard a little bit.
Yeah, and so he's like, how do you guys find, because they used to be campers years ago, but
Right.
they were seasonals. They
Right.
didn't really take it anywhere.
Yeah, they were on a nice lake.
Yeah, so I thought today what we do is kind of share how we find
Okay.
both locations to go
Okay.
camping, and then more specifically, once we narrow down an area, how do we find a campground?
Okay.
So we'll start with locations, because we do get that question from time to time where people are like, how do you always find these cool places to go camping?
That's easy.
Yeah, what is it?
YouTube.
YouTube, exactly.
Baby.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
We
we
watch YouTube.
We watch YouTube,
Yeah.
and we see people go do things, and we're like, oh,
ooh, that's nice. Where's that? And then we get on the old map and all the old big old Google and check it out.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, we have watched YouTube regularly for what, 7-8 years
A
now.
long time.
And what a lot of people don't realize is YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, second
research.
only to Google.
Yeah.
And guess what? Google owns YouTube.
Yeah.
And so people go to YouTube to look up questions that they have, like,
Yeah.
where's a popular place to take your RV in the United States, and it will queue up videos for you.
Right.
And in fact, if you don't go to YouTube to search, a lot of people go to Google, but Google will actually
We'll
share
move you to
YouTube. Right.
Yeah.
And so over the years, we just watch other YouTubers
And get ideas there.
and get ideas. And I think
Absolutely.
that's a great way. And so, although we're not really a travel channel with our YouTube anymore,
No.
because we, again, with us still working full time, we travel so little, we can't put out regular content. But there are some great channels out there.
Right.
And over the years, we watch channels like Keep Your Daydream, Less Junk, More Journey, that really, and those are just a couple.
Right.
But those are the couple of the bigger ones, Traveling Robert,
Yep.
that they do a great job documenting places that you can take your RV and give you ideas.
Oh, yeah, because there was even folks, I can't remember their name of their channel, but they were at Gulf Shores, Alabama, and that gave us the idea of going there.
Oh, driving and vibing. Yeah.
And we're like, that looks nice. Let's check that out, or this out, or yeah.
Yeah, you get ideas from YouTube. I think another one today that wasn't around
Right.
8 years ago, but thank
This
goodness
would
we
be
have it
good.
today,
Yeah.
is RV Destinations Magazine.
Yeah, that would be great if we would have had that.
Oh, I know. So if you're not familiar with RV Destinations Magazine, originally it was a digital only
Right.
magazine, and last year they went to a print subscription. And you have choices. You can get just
both.
digital, you can get just print, or you can get both. Or you can get their VIP package, which
Ooh.
includes their annual special edition. It's the
Oh.
biggest, has the most information, most pictures. It's like their
Okay.
best of the best.
Okay.
That's going to be coming out in, I believe, April.
Okay.
And we will leave a link in the show notes for this podcast if you want to get a discount. Now, just so you know, we don't make any commission
No.
off of sales.
Nope.
We're friends with Randy and Callie Beheimer, who own the magazine. We are subscribers. We paid for our subscription.
I like the magazine itself.
Yeah,
the
we like the
beautiful
print
photos,
because
yeah.
Callie, no, let me make sure I get this right. I think Randy does all the photography.
Okay.
Callie is the editor-in-chief, does some of the writing, but they have a whole team of writers. But what I love is the magazine combines both, really popular places, let's say like the Grand Canyon.
Right.
But they also go out and find some of the hidden gems.
Yes.
And those are the ones I
Yeah,
love.
the places that you're like, oh, I never heard of that. Where's
Right.
that? Or let's go there. Look at this.
That way we can avoid people. Right? You go to those hidden gems, there's not as many people.
Right.
And so anyway, if you're interested in RV Destinations Magazine, like I said, you have lots of options, but we do have a discount code that will save you some money on an annual subscription of your choice. Or if you just want if let's say you don't want the subscription to the magazine, but you just want that annual one, which is awesome.
Okay.
You can do that and use our discount code. But like I said, we don't make any commission or anything like that. We just really like the magazine, and they offered us a discount for you.
Sure.
So,
Absolutely.
but I would say those are our two right now.
go-tos,
Those are our
yeah.
two go-tos. One final thing on the RV Destination Magazine, those print editions are so nice. Like, we don't pitch them when we're done with
No.
them. We hang on to them because they're so nice, and they're a great. It's almost like, remember the old days when you got like encyclopedias?
Yes.
These are like a travel encyclopedia.
Or those like Time Life things.
Yeah.
People used to collect those. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we just hang on to them because that way, then someday when we're like, where are we going to go?
You
We
can
can just
look
go
back
back
in
to
it.
go back in and look for ideas. So
Probably like what your uncle and aunt would do is they'd have a file cabinet.
probably
They
they'd
try
probably
to-
rip them apart and alphabetize the
Probably
destinations,
would.
which
Have
would
like
be
a
smart.
log.
I
Should
know.
probably have like a data sheet.
I know.
They are so organized.
They are
Yeah,
organized
they
compared to
are.
us. We're so fly by the seat of our pants on things.
Sometimes, yes.
All right, so that's how we find locations.
Yeah.
Now, Tony's issue was not finding a location. They
No.
already knew where they were going.
Right.
His question was, how do you go about finding places to actually stay? And that was so easy for
It
me
was
to
easy.
answer
Yeah.
because, and I think for both of us,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
always one answer we give people, which is
All stays.
the Allstays app.
Yeah.
Now, you can get to Allstays on a desktop. You just go to allstays.com, or you can download their app.
Yep.
We have used Allstays for years.
Yep. Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, there are other apps out there that you can use, and if you have one that you prefer and works for you,
Go
there's
for
nothing
it.
wrong with
Yeah.
that. It's just Allstays has been our go-to for years.
Well, for us, it just includes so many options on there. You can find campgrounds, harvest hosts, Walmarts.
Yeah,
Cracker
Cracker Barrels,
barrels,
dump stations. I mean, it puts a lot of stuff. I think it even does like truck stops.
I think so. Now
for
we
like
can find-
finding fuel, like your loves are on there, your
Right.
Flying J's, things
Yeah.
like that. I mean, there's a lot included.
Well, even restaurants too.
I think so. I don't
Food.
remember. I mean, primarily we use it to find,
Right.
campgrounds and fuel stops.
I think so.
And what I love is they use little icons, so it's easy to determine what you're looking at. So, like KOA has its own
Yes.
unique icon.
Yes, they do.
State parks, national parks have their own unique icon.
I know Walmart's a W.
Walmart's a W, Cracker Barrel's a
Looks
CB.
like that little, yeah, and it has like the little, yeah.
Yeah. And so we just go in and I just zoom in on the map to the area I know we want to stay and see what's there. And then, like commercial campgrounds, they're just like a black icon.
Right.
And then what's great is when you click on any of the icons,
oh my gosh, all the information you get.
Tons of information, about that location. So if it's like a campground, it's going to tell you how many sites they have, what amenities they have. There's usually a direct link to their website. I love Cracker Barrels because it will tell you how many RV parking spaces there are, and then there'll be reviews if anybody stayed there to let you know it's RV friendly.
Right. Yep.
And there's also built-in mapping features.
Right.
And they give you options. It's crazy. It says, do you want to map on Apple Maps or do you want to map on Google Maps?
I know in that.
And there might even be others, but those are the two that we use, so I know that they're there. So we're a big fan of Allstage just because to us, it's all-inclusive.
And it's easy.
It's easy.
It's user-friendly.
Now, I will say another one we have used is Campendium.
Right, we've used that one.
And we used to use Campendium a lot if we went out west.
Yes,
because it was really good at finding BLM land and things like that. Some really unique spots. So that's one.
Forest, National Forest, all that stuff.
Yeah. So Campendium is a good one. Like I said, there's others out there. The Dirt, I know, is one that people talk about. The Dirt. Give us the Dirt.
Camping in the dirt.
Yeah. So now I do have the RV Life app.
Oh yeah.
And I use that primarily to check out campground reviews.
Okay.
So I can go in there, put in the campground, and it will pull up ratings and reviews for people.
That's cool.
So sometimes if it's a commercial campground where I'm a little, you're not, I'll go in there, search for reviews, and just find out if it's a nice place to stay.
Sure.
A couple other apps that we do use.
Yes.
One is the Harvest Host app.
Oh, yeah. We use that one a lot, too.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I guess Harvest Host isn't for everyone.
No.
We've saw a YouTuber recently saying, like, oh, we canceled our Harvest Host because it's not really free camping. Well, first of all, nobody ever said it was. No. Harvest Host isn't about free camping. Harvest Host is an alternative style of camping that gives you experiences over things like hookups.
Right. Well, cool experiences like camping in, what was that, a grapevine or a winery.
Yeah,
we were in Cherries.
A vineyard.
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
That's what grapevine thing is called.
Yeah, a vineyard.
A vineyard, and you're looking at Mount Hood, or you're in a lavender farm,
or a blueberry farm.
Or you're next to a cool stream and there's like a brewery there and they got a food truck and a band playing and all this cool stuff. A place you can get like a steak dinner. Remember that one?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. You do pay an annual membership fee to get the access to the database. And then it's kind of assumed that you will spend somewhere between $20 and $30 because these are all small businesses.
Right.
And as a thank you for letting you park overnight somewhere on their property. Now, there are some Harvest Hosts, not all.
Right.
There are some we've come across where they will, for an additional like $10, $15, offer you hookups, which is great.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. So what we find is we tend to use Harvest Host in the summer when we have plenty of time.
Right.
And we're in no hurry to get someplace.
And it's usually like in the summer we go where it's cooler.
Right.
And it's a cooler temperature, so we can enjoy it. Like I'm thinking of where we were with the Red Apple Farm this past summer. So
and so we try to get in by 3:00 so we can enjoy that business, whatever they have to offer. And I think a lot of people instantly go, "Oh, it's just wineries and breweries."
No,
no, it's farms. It's zoos.
Yeah.
Maybe zoos aren't the right word, but like alpaca farms. Yeah. I guess they're still farms.
Remember the farm where we saw the baby cows?
Oh yeah, and we got to feed them. It's museums and it's just unique attractions.
Places that you wouldn't think.
Yeah.
And that would be a good spot to park it for the night.
Right.
And it's just fun.
And I will be honest, years ago we had a discount code for Harvest Host. We found out ours doesn't work anymore. But if you go to most major YouTube channels, they're going to have a discount code for Harvest Host and save you a little money if you want to do that. And like I said, it may not be for everyone because a lot of people don't want to go in the evening without hookups. And it's definitely not, like I said, free camping. Anyone who tries to sell it as free camping, it's not free. Because again, these people are very nice. A good example is Happy Acres Campground, who we are affiliated with here in Angola, Indiana.
They're a harvest host.
They're a harvest host, and Angie and Kevin really do it. So if somebody just wants to boondock in the parking lot overnight, they can make a reservation through the Harvest Host website, and they can park up front in the parking lot overnight. And what we find a lot of times, the last summer, that was the first summer we did it there, was it was primarily people who just needed a quick place to get a good night's sleep, and so they would pull in, and they'd be gone sometimes the next morning really early, and they just didn't want to pay 45, 50, 60 bucks for a site. They didn't need hookups or anything. But one of the things that Angie always typically does is if there's a bunch of sites setting empty, she'll offer them a site for like $25 or whatever as an upgrade. So it's a discount because they're a Harvest Host member. So, there's all kinds of places out there in the Harvest Host.
And even your aunt and uncle learned, because they camped years ago, and then now they're camping again, and they wanted to try it, and they absolutely love it.
Yeah, somewhere along the way, Colonel Woody misunderstood what I said when I said you should spend between $20 and $30. Somehow he interpreted that as $300. They literally stayed at their first Harvest Host.
Lavender Farm and a winery, right?
Yep, back in January on the way home from Florida. And it was a winery / lavender farm in Florida.
And they had a blast, it sounds like.
And they called us. I think they called us that night.
Like little kids at Christmas.
And they were so excited because the host invited them in for a wine tasting, and she made a charcuterie tray. And the short of it was, in the end, they bought a bunch of wine and lavender products. Now these are going to be gifts for. We've done that before.
We've done that.
We spent a couple $100 at a lavender farm.
It was gifts.
You were buying Christmas gifts. So anyway, enough on Harvest Host. We love Harvest. Another app that I have on my phone, and I have quite a few apps, but this was another one I just thought I'd throw out there, is even though I can find KOAs on the Allstays app, I still like the KOA app. So if we are going to stay at a KOA, I usually just go right to my KOA app and book there, because then I can also get pictures and things like that. So, it's not a big deal. I thought I would throw that out there, that KOA has an app that's a pretty good app if you're trying to find. You can just pull up a map and it pops just the KOAs all over the country. And we find that we're not huge KOA stayers.
But usually
stayers? Is that stayers? Goers? Guests? I don't know.
But we usually find that when it's a summer, especially when we're traveling, and we just need Wi-Fi, or we need to do some laundry or something. That's usually kind of a day to get reacclimated, get reset, laundry, whatever kind of day.
And we talked about this before about KOAs. They're just convenient. They're a lot of times right along the highway. And so, you're right. If it's one where we're like, all right, we boondock for 2 nights, we really need to dump the tanks, get fresh water, maybe catch up on laundry, we'll just find a KOA, pull in, and do everything.
Right. Because I can remember out west, I forget, on our last trip, we were going to go to a Harvest Host, and they were having some kind of rally, a motorcycle rally?
No. You were thinking of, we were down in Texas.
Okay.
And we were going to stay at a brewery and in Beaumont, Texas. And they had some big event all-day event, but they said, we'll fit you in.
And it was so
hot.
Golly.
And so we ended up, we had stopped to fuel. We were within about 20 minutes of the.
We changed our plan.
Yeah, and I got out of the truck. It was so hot.
It was beastly.
And I called them and I said, look, I know you guys have this big event going on. And they're like, oh, no, we'll make room for you. And I said, no. I said, are you okay if we don't come? And they were fine with that because I had found a KOA. I remember I got in the truck. I said, are you okay with just going to a KOA? And
it was so hot.
Yeah, you were ecstatic. So
it was just like being on the sun that day. It was just a hot day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our answer, a very long answer to how we find locations and campgrounds when we are traveling. And there may be some others out there I'm not thinking of, but those are the big ones. And honestly, Allstays is, if I could only have one app on my phone for this, that would be the one. So, because sometimes people ask that question, like, well, if you had to narrow it down to just one.
Just that one.
If you could only have one cheese the rest of your life.
One cheese?
One cheese. Which one would it be?
I'm going with Vermont cheddar.
Vermont cheddar. Today's episode brought to you by the Vermont Dairy Farmers. Actually, it's not. But Vermont, if you're listening and you want to sponsor our podcast.
Baird Farm maple syrup.
Jim would love that if we get a sponsor, because Jim, who is our friend and also our producer, he only gets paid currently in things like...
I hope he's not lactose intolerant.
I hope not. Especially if Vermont Dairy Farmers or Cabot Creamery comes on board and Jim starts getting paid in cheddar. Because so far he's been paid in maple syrup, coffee and bourbon. Yeah. All right. Well, we better wrap this thing up. That's like a Dan thing from sorry, Dan, I stole your thing if you ever watch this. Dan from Addicted to the Mouse. He does that. He's like, wrap it up, and he does the finger thing. So sorry, Dan, I stole your signature.
Hold on to your hand.
Yeah, I'll keep my hand down. I'll just do this. Till next time, everybody, we'll see you.
On down the road.
On down the road. Bye.
Travels with the lady. We'll see you on down the road.